Hello, it's Holly with Ivy Cole Creations. I have another layout for you today, and I decided to take this layout and split it in half. So half is going to be spring and half is going to be summer. It's just photos of my kids playing at the park and just at two different times of the year, and I didn't feel like the photos themselves needed 12 by 12 layouts. So since they were just playing at the park, I decided to put it all together. Anyway, I wanted to use up the branding scraps that I had, and I thought splitting it in half by using mixed media would help differentiate the different sides. I used the Delusions Shimmer Spray in white linen to be my separator. Now I was using scraps and strips, so I wanted to kind of coordinate the colors to make it bright and cheery on the one side for summer and a little bit more pastel on the other side for spring. I finally got my strips down, and once I did that, I decided that I didn't want to try to fiddle with the sizing of the strips, and I just decided to cut the edges off, and then I put it on a yellow 12 by 12 solid piece of paper so that I could have the full 12 by 12 size and a bit of a layered background. I layered my photos on white just to give them a bit of pop off all of this color that I have going on the page. And then I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do, but I decided once I figured out what I wanted to do with that blue paper, everything else kind of came together. And I just went with strips of cardstock to kind of create tags or strips behind the photos to give it a little bit of a landing place for the pictures to go. Now I don't know if you noticed because I have sped up the video, but I used the border of the rainbow paper to kind of measure where to put my red strips for that one side. And looking at it over, I really like the way that it turned out, but I wish that I hadn't put it up quite so high on the left hand side and maybe lowered it a little bit more on the right hand side just to give it a little bit less of a scrunched up look in the corner. But I do love the pattern paper that's behind my collages. I wish that I had used it maybe in a different way, but it's on there and I still like the way that it turned out. I wanted to use a tag for my journaling, and I just decided to stick a piece of white cardstock over top so that I had a place to write and I could actually read my writing. I did fill the hole with some really thick twine, or it's cotton string. So I did some black outlining on all of the bits behind the photos just to give it a bit more dimension and make it not seem so flat. It also makes it pop off that rainbow background a bit better. I used some glue dots to glue down my string, and now it's just time to do some embellishing. I stuck that sticker down and it did not want to come up again, so that's where it started to live. I put a rainbow behind the flower stickers, and I got glue everywhere as per usual. And then added this little sun just because it's summertime, so why not add a sunshine? I have so many of them in my ephemera. It seems to be an icon that's used a lot in scrapbooking. And I added my little black lines. And then I decide to add Prima flowers. I don't necessarily know if these are Prima or if they're from Michaels and they're just a Prima copy, but they are those paper fabric like flowers. And I created one in this corner and put one in the other corner up by the tag. I really love the colors that these come in and they just give it a bit more dimension and let things pop a bit more off the page. I finally put enamel dots down, and I just went with red, green, and blue. I had a little bit of an issue trying to figure out where I wanted them, so I played with that for a bit. I added my date stamp. And that's it for this video. The close-ups and still shots will be up next. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and if you're interested, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd love to hear from you.